Good morning, I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
And I'm the face of Fox Elias Gallagos in for Nikki Stanzione.
And this is New Mexico Style, not the same today without Nikki.
No, Nikki isn't feeling well today.
Yeah, so Nikki, if you're watching, we hope you feel better, get a lot of rest, and get back here soon.
That's right.
Yeah.
Lots of interesting stuff happening on planet Earth and beyond.
Back in Mars, yeah, this is really good. So have you been following it?
I have.
The whole thing with Curiosity, the rover Curiosity. So basically, it sent back its first color pictures of Mars, and we have a few to show you here. They show a dusty desert and a crater where the rover landed earlier this week.
The Los Alamos Scientist helped develop the rover working on a cam, which shoots lasers at rocks to figure out what they're made of. Amazing. Right, so it'll be a few weeks before Curiosity can roam the red planet and really get to exploring whether there really is life there. But for now, we're starting to get these pictures in. And a lot of people have said, it doesn't really look like much. But I think the coolest part of that is you're looking at Mars. You're looking at the landscape there, the terrain there. And those pictures are just going to get better. And we're just going to find out more and more about the planet there. And I just think it's really the neatest thing. Hopefully we'll find some ice. That's kind of
maybe. I think they're looking to see if they think that water may have existed there at one point in time. So they're looking for signs of some of that microbacteria.
And if there was water, that means there was
possibly life.
Possibly life. That's
and maybe they could sustain life again in the future. Who knows? So it's going to be really interesting to see what's to come from Curiosity.
That's right. But just when you thought you heard it all about the Roswell UFO incident, there's a new buzz this morning. A retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Richard French tells the Huffington Post, there was not one but two crashes in New Mexico.
Oh yeah, in 1947, of course, something fell from the sky over Roswell. Something so bizarre, the U.S. Air Force issued a press release saying a flying disc had crashed, but then they quickly recanted that.
But French claims one went down after being disabled by an electronic pulse-type weapon, electromagnetic, I believe, from an experimental U.S. airplane out of White Sands.
The second the pod came down, boom, instead of the rockets going out and knocking down the UFO, the airplane blew up.
The second UFO went down days later, but David Thomas, the president of New Mexicans for Science and Reason, doubts French's story. Thomas says the so-called experimental U.S. airplane that disabled the UFO didn't exist back then. So he's saying we didn't have the technology. A lot of controversy surrounding this, and it's hard to say because the government is so good at keeping their new technology so secretive. So maybe where we didn't know about it, maybe that technology did exist.
But I believe that scientists worked on the with Skunk Lab with developing the stealth fighter and stealth bomber. So I mean, he probably knows a thing or two about what weapons did or did not exist.
Who knows? A lot of controversy. I wonder if we'll ever really know the whole true story about what happened in Roswell.
I'm a believer.
You're a believer. All right, you've said it. I don't know. I think it's really interesting regardless. But let's talk about the news now. We'll check in with KRQE News 13 anchor Elizabeth Alvarez for this morning's headlines. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Don't ask me. I don't know. I kind of go both ways. I do believe in unidentified flying objects. I mean, how can you not? There are plenty of unidentified flying objects, right?
When I golf, there's tons of identified flying objects.
Right. Yeah, no, that's definitely a good story, though, to tell. All right, let's get to your news headlines this Wednesday morning. We begin talking about the aunt of the toddler who died this week after police say she left him in a hot car all day. Well, she remains in jail this morning, and the family says it was just a horrific accident, and now they are trying to get her out of jail. Sandra Rodriguez Miramontes, seen here, is charged with child abuse resulting in death. Police say she told them that she forgot the boy was sleeping in the car when she went to work early Monday morning at the Precious Moments Daycare Center in Northwest Albuquerque. Now, the judge refused to let Miramontes out of jail. Her case is now going to the district attorney's office now for further investigation. Miramontes is being held on a $50,000 bond, and she's also under an immigration hold. It turns out a weapons heist in Rio Rancho is a lot bigger than police originally thought. 2 weeks ago, police reported 4 rifles with silencers were stolen from a gun store called the Rio Rancho Armory. Now we have learned that 36 handguns were also taken, and one of the rifles that was taken is actually a machine gun. There is a $20,000 reward out there for information leading to an arrest. If you have any information on the case, you're urged to call the Rio Rancho Police Department. Schools that got a D or F from the state's new grading system will be getting money to make some improvements. The struggling schools will be split, will actually have to split the $3.5 million. Now, it will go toward training teachers and toward a program that gets administrators into the classroom. Laguna Acuma High School tested this exact program and actually saw math and reading scores improve. Well, everybody likes to save a few bucks, and guess what? We have found this month's best buys. As News 13's David Romero explains, many of the prices are cut in half. Take note.
Going back to school is a dread for kids, but also a dread for mom and dad having to buy all their items to go back to class. We are just coming off the tax-free holiday weekend in New Mexico, but a lot of items such as clothing, shoes, and computers are still on top for savings. Some consumer websites such as Deal News say that the laptops, which were close to $900 around June, are now at about $650, although those deals could get better by another $50 by October. Summer's not over yet. If you're looking to get outdoors and do some biking, this may be a good time to get a bicycle. For the students heading off to college, you may be able to find a great deal on furniture or storage shelves. And if you want your music to go portable with you, many of the MP3 players go on sale before the new models come out in September.
Cool stuff, right? The savings aren't only for back-to-school items as the summer winds down. So will the yard work, which means garden supplies will be on sale. So you might want to stock up. All right, don't be alarmed if you hear some small explosions or see some black smoke near Kirtland Air Force Base. Sandia National Laboratories will hold some explosive tests starting this morning on the south side of Kirtland Air Force Base. Now, some Albuquerque residents may notice the smoke, even hear loud bangs associated with the experiment. The test will be done. Well, they're actually starting anytime now and will last through 5 p.m. Again, starting today and through the rest of this week. And that wraps it up for your Wednesday morning headlines. Be sure to catch Matt Morrow, Kristen Van Dyke, and me every weekday morning beginning at 4:30 a.m. on KRQE News 13. All right, guys, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right. Thanks, Elizabeth.
No bet.
All right, now.
What time is it, Kristen?
Time for the Hollywood Buzz, and we have a lot of good gossip to catch up on today.
That is right. TMZ correspondent Gary Trock joins us live from Los Angeles. Good morning, Gary.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, okay, so first let's get to it. Rupert Sanders, the philandering director who cheated on his wife, Kristen Stewart, finally came face to face with the woman he betrayed. What's the latest with this Hollywood love triangle?
Okay, so yes, Rupert Sanders did meet up with his wife, Liberty Ross, yesterday out in L.A. There were some photos snapped. He was wearing his wedding ring still. She was definitely not wearing a wedding ring. Kind of interesting, though, there were some photos taken earlier in the day of her leaving a restaurant with another guy, and she looked very cozy with him. Like she was smiling, looking like she was having a good time. So, you know, this is interesting if she's moved on. I mean, obviously, there's these photos of him. I don't know. I'm still not buying this whole thing. It seems very, very odd. But, yeah, so they did meet up yesterday. There have been no documents filed as far as like any sort of divorce or anything. And then on the other side of things, Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson have been pretty quiet since the breakup.
Wow. So what do you think? You're saying you're not buying into it. I mean, do you think this is like a publicity thing or what?
I honestly thought that I thought in the very beginning that this whole thing is a publicity stunt. I mean, it's just the whole photos that came out with Kristen and this guy were very weird. They looked staged to me. And then, you know, the fact that all these statements from the publicists were lined up even before the photos came out. I mean, it was just all was very clean cut. But I don't know. I mean, you never want a marriage to break up. So hopefully they're able to fix their marriage with Rupert and Liberty. But yeah, so Twilight movie is coming out again soon. You remember the last installment. So I mean, this is building a lot of buzz towards that. But I would hate to think Hollywood
need the buzz. It's huge. Why does it even need
the Twilight machine continues to roll on. Wow.
They love it. They love it. Yeah.
This one loves it too.
Unfortunately.
And, well, in other news, apparently Justin Bieber doesn't believe bald is beautiful. In fact, the pop star came out and attacked Prince Williams over his thinning hairline. Why is the Biebs going after the prince?
Yeah, it's crazy. So Bieber gave an interview to a London magazine out there, and he said he was making fun of Prince William's hair, saying that, you know, he should be able to use Propecia. He's like, don't you guys have something like that out there for hair? I mean, it's just so thin, it doesn't look good. I got to be honest, Bieber should not be making fun of anyone's hair, because if you remember his haircut before, you know, a few years ago, he was definitely, you know, not in with it. That was not a very good haircut. So he needs to leave Prince William alone. Since then, though, I got to be honest, he's gotten a lot of backlash from, you know, the British community is very upset about, you know, these comments. There's been a lot of tweets going around, a lot of people slamming him. So hopefully he'll apologize. Prince William, on the other hand, hasn't said anything about it yet.
Well, yeah, he's being the bigger person there. But you know what? I mean, when it comes to Justin Bieber, a lot of people who go bald eventually, they do have a whole mop full of hair when they're that young. So
that is very true.
So look out.
Yeah, mind your P's and Q's, as they say on the other side of the pond. And plus, Prince Williams is a fighter pilot, so I tread lightly, Justin
Gotta
Bieber.
be careful.
Well, cops were called to an LA Costco yesterday after comedian Joan Rivers handcuffed herself to a shopping cart during a one-woman protest against the wholesale store, comparing the place to Nazi Germany. What do you guys know about this?
Yeah, Joan is insane. Basically, Costco is refusing to sell her new book because on the back of it, there's some really racy excerpts, and they don't think that it's appropriate to put out in their store. So to protest that, she showed up at the Costco with a bullhorn yelling about comparing them to Nazi Germany, and then handcuffed herself to a customer's shopping cart. We got video of it on our site. It's pretty crazy. Cops were actually called to the event. They asked her to leave. She, you know, complied. She had no problem going, but the cops were laughing so hard. I mean, just because Joan Rivers, I mean, you know, the fact that she goes in there and causes an uproar is pretty funny. But nobody was harmed. She was okay, and she was not arrested.
Wow, Gary. Well, thanks as always. Always informative. And just like that, you can always catch TMZ weeknights at 5:30 right here on 2 Casa Fox.
Yep, so be sure to tune in later on today at 5:30.
Yeah.
Always good to catch up with Gary.
Yeah.
And I'm suspicious like he is with the whole Kristen Stewart and the director.
Yeah, part of that, you know, you wonder how much, you know, friends are trying to save face, and you know, there's a lot at stake, and yeah, it's sad to hear that stuff. But in other, bring a little levity. The local dance company, Expose, is celebrating 20 years of dance this weekend with a premiere performance, Don't Stop, at the Sandia Prep Theater. Yeah, Dance Expose is a fusion of classical ballet and Broadway with a little Las Vegas style of glitz and glamour mixed that will have the audiences on the edge of their seats. And Dance Expose proves to follow a dream because these performers range in ages between 18 and 50 years old. So never give up on your dreams, people. 18 to 50 years old, that's a pretty big deal.
Well, this production is a very special because it's our 20-year anniversary show. And so we've been doing this for 20 years, and now we have people who have come back from before and are brand new people, and we are still going. We are still going strong, and so we plan to keep exciting the audiences with this show as well.
To keep something going as long as it has gone, I mean, longevity speaks volumes, I think. The dancers have come and gone. Some of us come back and leave and go have children or do whatever we're going to do, get married, and Dance Expose is right here, so it's been really great in that respect. It's
very much a variety show. It's grown over the years. We have musical acts, we have musical theater acts, a lot of dance of all sorts of styles. Pretty much all of it pretty high energy, even if they're slow, intimate numbers. They're very exciting.
No two numbers are anything alike. We will go from classical to classic rock to hip hop to country music, and so they've always somebody else described it as Broadway meets Vegas.
Don't Stop is incredible in that it's got tons of energy, variety. We've got everything from tap and point numbers to Broadway numbers, lots of lifting and partner dancing, which is sort of what we've become known for. I think it's a thrill a minute, and since there's something for everyone, anyone will enjoy the show.
This is a show for all ages. My 5-year-old granddaughter will be here enjoying the show. This will be her second year coming to see it. And my wife, of course, and then we have people that have been following us for years that are in their 70s, their 80s. They think it's the most exciting thing they've ever seen. They love it.
Dance Expose Productions presents this on Friday and Saturday, August 10th and 11th at 7:30. And August 12th is a matinee at 2:30. And the costs run from $15 to $18. And there are group rates available too.
Dance Expose will donate a portion of their proceeds to Bernalillo County Summer Youth Program, giving underprivileged children exposure to arts and culture. So important.
Yeah, you can watch Don't Stop at Cyndia Prep Theater this weekend. Visit danceexpose.org for performance details and for tickets. That looks like it is going to be amazing.
Lots of work. Those kids put a lot of talent, a lot of work, a lot of dedication too.
Yeah, well, hey, did you see the thunderstorms last night? I think we were talking about it earlier.
I mean, well, the thunder here in New Mexico, the lightning, I don't know if there's too many places. You would probably know better than I would, but I don't think there's too many on the planet like here in New Mexico.
It's the terrain, it's the dry thunderstorms where you can just see everything that's happening with it.
Purples and blues.
Especially when they move in at sunset. And you know, last night we had some really cool pictures taken of some of the lightning. Yeah, I snapped a picture. We're not going to show that one.
Okay.
These are way better. But Ann Martinez got her camera out down in Belen, and take a look at these. I have 3 pictures to show you. So this is the first one of one of the lightning strikes. These storms are just producing lightning like crazy. This is another one. I think that one's really cool. You can see the cloud to cloud lightning there, and then the one stroke going all the way down to the ground there. So that one's really neat. And then this one. It's just like probably
look at that. I love lightning.
The most spectacular. Look how it's a very powerful bolt. Look how bright it is.
That's amazing.
And there's actually a couple of them there. So, yeah, Belen got quite the lightning show last night. Albuquerque did too, and we've dried things out, of course, since then. But we did see a few showers and storms from a front that was pushing through yesterday. And if you look on the radar right now, you can actually see those showers pushing through southern New Mexico on the eastern side. And that's where the front is right now, right at the leading edge of those showers there. So that's going to kind of hang into the southern part of the state. Behind those showers, they'll be around through the morning. Those will diminish. We will see drier air moving in, so you can see things clearing out in the northeast. We're not going to see the thunderstorm coverage we saw yesterday. In the northern mountains, we'll see a few storms just because they're up in the higher elevations, but most of the area is going to be looking at drying conditions across eastern New Mexico, and then that moisture with the rain in the southeast is actually going to push into the southwestern part of the state, bringing in more scattered storms there. For Albuquerque, it's going to be a warm day. We'll be mostly sunny through noon, 87 degrees, and then topping out today in the mid-90s. East winds at about 10 to 20. At about 5 o'clock or so later this afternoon and this evening, there will be the chance we may get a stray pop-up thunderstorm or two with some of that leftover moisture, but we'll be hard-pressed to get what we had last night. Santa Fe may see a stray storm as well. Most of the storms are going to be in the mountains or across the western part of the state. So scattered showers and thunderstorms primarily central and west, especially down in the Gila area. Four Corners will see a few spotty thunderstorms, mainly up near the mountains. And then tomorrow we'll have even less moisture to work with. So we'll just be looking at a few spotty thunderstorms here and there, primarily across the higher terrain. Your forecast for today, temperature-wise, a little bit better as far as those highs go out east. We're talking highs in the mid to upper 90s as opposed to the triple-digit heat, but still very warm for this time of the year, anywhere from 5 to 8 degrees above average. We'll be at 94 in Albuquerque and Santa Fe, and up in the northern mountains, temperatures there will top out in the mid-80s. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast for Albuquerque. A slight chance for a few thunderstorms later on today, and then as we go through the next few days, rain chances stay pretty slim. Temps stay warm, topping out in the low to mid-90s. Next chance for rain will move in by early next week.
Lots of sunshine.